Before you start packing your suitcase, this is a golden London tip. I know planning your first trip to London can feel overwhelming. There's so much to see that it can be hard to know what's actually worth your time. Trust me, I've been there. So think of me as your London bestie. I'm sharing everything I wish someone had told me before a first visit, from the landmarks I genuinely prioritize to my favorite neighborhoods, where to eat, the best time to visit, and all the local tips that make exploring the city so much easier. Let me do the heavy lifting, so all you have to do is fall in love with London. Best times to visit. One of the questions I get asked the most is, when should I actually visit London? And honestly, there's no wrong answer. It just depends on the kind of trip you're hoping for. If you're thinking of picnics in Hyde Park, blossoms everywhere, and long walks without huge crowds, I'd pick springtime. If your dream city break is rooftop bars, outdoor film screenings, and staying out until 9 p.m. without realizing it's still light, then summer's your season. Autumn is probably my personal favorite. London's parks turn orange, it's quieter, cafes suddenly become much cozier, and the whole city feels a little slower. If Christmas markets, festive lights, and that classic London at Christmas feeling are on your list, nothing beats December. Now that you've hopefully picked your ideal season, let's talk about the places that are so worth making time for. 5 must-sees. Wondering where to start? These are the 5 places I'd recommend to absolutely everyone visiting London. If you're only going to visit one historic landmark, I'd make it the Tower of London. You can genuinely feel the history the second you walk through the gates. It's eerie, fascinating, and just a little bit spooky. Some of my favourite London afternoons have been spent in Hyde Park, especially when the English sun decides to make a special appearance. I'd usually grab something from the Serpentine Cafe and find a spot by the lake. In summer, everyone's stretched out on the grass, making the most of the sunshine. And in winter, you can go for a long walk with a hot chocolate or coffee in hand. You'll quickly see why Londoners keep coming back here, whatever the season. Just keep an eye out for the cycle lanes. London cyclists definitely have somewhere to be. No first trip to London feels complete without seeing Buckingham Palace. It's every bit as iconic in real life as you imagine. If you're hoping to catch the changing of the guard, it usually takes place at 11 a.m. on select days, so check schedule before you visit and aim to arrive at least an hour early for the best view. And yes, they really don't smile. Not even if you crack a terrible joke. If you're even slightly curious about history, you'll love the British Museum. I always end up staying longer than I planned because there's just so much to see. You can be standing in front of the Rosetta Stone 1 minute and Viking treasures the next. And somehow, one of the world's greatest museums is completely free. I don't think my London walks ever feel complete without crossing Tower Bridge. Every time I walk across it, I still end up stopping halfway to look back at the skyline. And if you've always called it London Bridge, don't worry, you're definitely not the first. You can even head inside and walk across the glass walkway at the top to see London from a completely new perspective. Top 3 neighbourhoods. Once you've seen London's biggest stars, it's time for the supporting cast, the neighbourhoods that completely changed how I experienced the city. The best part, London's tube makes hopping between neighbourhoods ridiculously easy. Every London neighbourhood has its own personality, but if I could only recommend one for an unplanned afternoon, it would be Shoreditch in East London. It's London's creative quarter where I go when I want to wander without a plan, browsing vintage shops, discovering street art, and inevitably finding somewhere brilliant to eat. It's one of those places that rewards curiosity, and I always end up discovering something new. Whenever someone asks me where to spend a slow afternoon, Notting Hill in West London is always one of my first recommendations. It feels like the London people imagine before they arrive. Wander down Portobello Road to explore one of the world's largest antiques markets, browse the independent shops, admire the colourful houses, and if you're lucky, you might even stumble across a poet writing a poem on the street. If London had a heartbeat, it'd probably be pulsing in Soho, right in the heart of the West End. Whenever I want to remember why I love London, I end up back here. Whether you're seeing a West End show, exploring Chinatown, or staying out a little later, this neighbourhood captures the city's energy better than anywhere else I know. Exploring London is hungry work. Luckily, I've already rounded up my favourite foodie spots for you, and if you've got a sweet tooth, you'll definitely want to stick around for the last recommendation. food. No British food deserves its reputation more than fish and chips. If you're only trying it once, Golden Union in Soho is one of my favourite places to go. Everything's cooked fresh, the batter is perfectly crisp, and somehow it always tastes even better after a full day walking around the city. Your first trip to London should definitely include a stop in Brixton. Exploring it with a local guide who grew up here brings the neighbourhood to life. You'll meet the people behind the independent businesses, hear their stories, and discover the African and Caribbean flavours that have defined this corner of London for generations. If you're going to commit to a full English breakfast, commit properly. Premises Cafe and Bistro serves one of my favourites in London, and it's tucked inside a building with its own musical history. It's got loads of character, brilliant food, and the ideal start to a day of exploring. My biggest piece of advice? Don't plan a big lunch afterwards. One thing that surprises a lot of first-time visitors is just how incredible London's Indian food is. It's become such an important part of British food culture that one of Britain's favourite dishes is the delicious chicken tikka masala. Because there's always room for dessert, order the sticky toffee pudding at Hawksmoor in Mayfair. It's rich, ridiculously indulgent, and exactly the kind of dessert you'll still be thinking about on the flight home. Tips. Before you start packing your suitcase, this is a golden London tip. Every Londoner will silently thank you when you stand to the right on the tube escalators. It makes way for people to walk past on the left. You'll blend in instantly. And don't trust the weather apps too much. Packing sunglasses and a small umbrella is peak London prep. Getting around is much easier than it looks. Just tap your bank card or phone on the tube and buses and you're all set. And if the rain inevitably makes an appearance, don't panic. Some of London's best museums are completely free, so it's an easy excuse to step inside somewhere epic. That's my first timer's guide. Now it's your turn to go and make it your own. If you're planning a visit, save this video so you've got it when you're building your itinerary. And if you've already been, I'd love to know which London spot would you tell every first-time visitor not to miss. Subscribe for more city guides, local favourites, and travel tips that will help you explore a place like someone who actually knows it. I'll see you in the next one.